One of my most popular videos in this channel is on the topic of public relations, which is not surprising because it's by far one of the fastest growing career paths in today's job market. The demand for communications directors, social media specialists, media managers, you name it, there is a job out there for anyone that wants to get started in public relations. Nowadays, companies need at least one, if not an entire team of experts in this area. This creates an opportunity for anyone out there to get started, even at the very bottom with no experience. And I believe that with the right attitude, the work ethic, that person can rise to the top very quickly. I did that. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. First, let me just establish some street cred on this topic. I've been in this space for just about a decade now, and in just a short period of time, I've had the chance of representing and telling the stories of numerous companies, whether it's helping them communicate in front of a live audience or in person or through social media in different communications capacities and platform. I've been there. Everything from nonprofit to local government to state agencies, national and international companies, I've worked with them to provide them an opportunity to communicate their message. So here, I'm going to assume that the majority of you watching this video are brand new to public relations. Now, you've learned that there are hundreds of people out there, hundreds of them, with more experience than you that are applying for the same jobs that you are. So maybe the problem is that you don't have enough experience. You have the education, but you don't have experience. So how do you get started? Well, let me tell you that when I was first starting out, I did get jobs that I did not qualify for, meaning I was underqualified, and I was still hired by that company. I once landed an international marketing position that called for a candidate with 5+ years of experience in public relations, in marketing or sales, in addition to a bachelor's degree that they wanted the candidate to have a bachelor's degree. Having none of those, I applied anyway because I knew what my unfair competitive advantage was. And I'll talk about that in a second. About 2 weeks after applying for that position, I was extremely underqualified for, mind you. I received a call for an interview, and the day of the interview came, and during the interview, I learned that over 100 people applied for the job, and only 12 were called in for an initial interview. And I was one of the 12. And that interview was all I needed to market my personality and my skills. And at that point, regardless of my experience, I was at an even level with all the other candidates. Long story short, in the end, I was the one lucky person who got the job. And get this, I even negotiated a higher salary than what they were offering for that spot. So, after working there for a few months, I learned from my supervisor because I was curious, why did I get this position? So he told me that even though I was the least qualified candidate on paper, they could not ignore my unfair advantage. And that's why they called me in for an interview and eventually gave me the job. So why am I telling you this story? And here's how that relates to you. This is what you have to figure out for yourself. What is your unfair competitive advantage? For example, at the time I applied for that job, I was only 22 years old. I was competing with people twice my age with 2 or 3 times the experience. But you know what my advantage was? I can speak 3 languages, English, Portuguese, and Spanish. And I knew that given the nature of that job, it was an international position, the company valued that skill. So I applied. So that was my unfair advantage. But not many people have that skill. So I want you to think about and identify an unfair advantage that you might have. You may be saying, I don't speak another language. What do I do? Well, I want to lay out 3 examples of some things that will give you an edge over other applicants. So start thinking about these. Number one, your network. Do you know anyone that works for a company that may be looking to hire a PR professional? If so, ask them for a recommendation and send it in along with your resume. That letter does help. Maybe that person can hand deliver your resume to the HR department. Now, if you get a courtesy interview, you can get in front of somebody. And if it doesn't work out, at least you made that connection and you had the opportunity to sharpen your interviewing skills for when the right opportunity comes. Number two, do you have a unique skill? You don't need a college degree or professional experience to be tech savvy or have the ability to make posters or graphic design or edit videos or photos. These are essential skills in communication and PR. For example, if creating videos is one of your skills, make sure that it's clearly communicated in your resume. But here's the thing, simply writing tech savvy or video production skills won't cut it. You have to show the person what you can do. So it's a good idea to hyperlink one of your work samples and remember to include your best work. So for example, if you list video production skills, hyperlink that text, linking to something that you've done. And if you don't have anything professional enough, look for ways to create some sample work. And I can have a video on that at a later time. So build your portfolio. And again, stay on topic. Remember, what is your unfair advantage? That can be video editing. Number three, and perhaps the most important of the entire list, life experiences. And here's what I mean by that. If you're someone with little to no professional experience, something that we all have in common are life experiences. And even that can be considered a unique ability employers may value. Here are some examples. Think about where you went to school. What school district did you attend? High school, college? Where did you go to school? Do you have a certain hobby? All of these life experiences can help you strategically find employment opportunities that are directly related to your life experiences. Here's an example. If you're a graduate of New York public schools or you attended a certain college or university, look for job opportunities within that organization. Since you already have a knowledge and a connection there, that automatically sets you apart. Here's another one. Are you into fashion or are you a gamer? Think about your hobbies and look for companies in that industry that will value your knowledge of the market or that topic or that community that you grew up in. And let me point out that you may not necessarily start as a public relations person, but if you start out as an assistant or an entry-level administrative position or a clerk within that company, you have given yourself a huge push towards your ideal position. Now, all you have to do is be a dedicated and valuable employee to that company, and when the opportunity comes, I guarantee you, you'll be ready for it. I hope you expand on this idea and do find your unfair advantage. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment below. If you've enjoyed this video, please take a look at my other videos and subscribe to my channel if you like that content. It really helps out. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on my next video.
Try to catch me howling at the moon.